Good, happy Monday morning, January 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Monday morning edition of the Riley King Talk Show. And it's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everyone. So, hopefully you're enjoying whatever you're doing on this Monday. If you're watching the Riley King Talk Show, sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the Riley King Talk Show. Look at this cool coffee mug I got for Christmas from my cousin Angelica. So, thank you, Angelica. I love it, and the best coffee mug in the world. We have lots of stuff we're talking about on the Riley King Talk Show today, so let's begin. Dive into things. I got this cool book at Barnes & Noble. This is what the book is called, The Self-Care Solution, and it's by Jennifer Ashton, and she is the ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent, Doctor Nutritionist, and Ruthless Self-Improver. And she wrote this book, and I heard about it, and I said, oh, this is a cool book. Every month, they have something different. January, the first month, dry month. February, push-ups and planks. March, meditation. April, cardio. May, less meat, more plants. June, hydration. July, more steps. August, mindful tech. September, less sugar. October, stretching. November, sleep. And December, laughter. So yeah, if you want to read a good health book, read this book. It's pretty good. I started reading it yesterday. So if you missed the Riley King newscast or Good Morning New Hampshire, let's take a look at some morning top news stories from the Riley King newscast this morning. Good, happy Monday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and let's take a look at your morning top news stories this morning on the Riley King Network. And here's a look at those morning top news stories for all of you this morning on the Riley King Network. Belmont firefighters battle second major structure fire in 24 hours. Interfaith ceremony in Portsmouth honors Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Professional bull riding league visits Manchester. Several snowmobile crashes as riders take to the trails after recent snowfall. Ski areas take advantage of fresh snowfall. All New York Stock Exchange markets in the U.S. are closed today, observing Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And 2 officers reported killed in active shooting in Hawaii. And those are your morning top news stories this morning on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great day, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today with more news coverage. Goodbye, everyone. Okay, that is a look at your morning top news stories from the Riley King newscast this morning. And if you missed our morning show, Good Morning New Hampshire, here is a look at the rundown from Good Morning New Hampshire. Let's take a look at that rundown. And here's a look at that rundown. We started with local news, business news, and national news. Then we went into weather and traffic, and then New Hampshire life, history, and entertainment news. That's a look at the rundown. If you want to see that rundown and see those links, you can just go to the Riley King Network Facebook page, and be sure to like that button and follow us as well. And now let's take a look at your National Day calendar for this Monday, January 20th. Today is National Cheese Lovers Day. Who loves cheese? Raise your hand. National Butter Crunch Day. Those are good. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. National Disc Jockey Day. Happy National Disc Jockey Day to Nazi, Tara, Harrison, and all the rest of the radio disc jockeys that I know. Happy National Disc Jockey Day, all of you. We hope you all have a wonderful day. That is a look at some National Day things. And as you know, we mentioned it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is on the third Monday in January. Honors the American activist, civil rights movement leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And let's take a listen to Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech from the History Channel. Let's watch this video.
On a hot day in August 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech that would define the civil rights movement and his legacy. This, of course, was his I Have a Dream speech, delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The March on Washington served as a massive push for economic and political justice for African Americans. Held during the year celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation, crowds marched on the National Mall to watch a variety of musical performances and speeches. Dr. King, a Baptist preacher and prominent civil rights leader, was scheduled to speak towards the end of the day, his debut on the national stage. Up until that point, King mostly addressed small crowds at black churches, rallies, or fundraisers. This time, he would be seen by nearly 250,000 people on the ground, as well as millions at home watching on television. This was an opportunity to reach a wide audience and persuade the public and the government to take action against racial injustice. The night before, King worked with a close group of advisors to get the speech just right. They worked through the night, settling on a final draft in the pre-dawn hours of August 28th. Interestingly, the phrase, "I have a dream," a phrase he used in earlier speeches, was nowhere to be found in this copy. The words wouldn't manifest until almost halfway into Dr. King's speech, when gospel singer Mahalia Jackson, who had performed earlier in the day, called out to him from the sidelines to tell them about the dream. King set his prepared remarks aside and improvised the rest, crafting a soaring speech that would sear into the minds of millions of Americans.
No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
The speech was divided into 2 parts. The first listed the injustices that African Americans faced: segregation, police brutality, disenfranchisement, and discrimination, and urged a call to nonviolent action. The second launched into King's dream of peace and racial harmony, a vision of a future in which people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
I have a dream.
Highlighting King's skills as a preacher, I Have a Dream was part sermon and part poetry, using rhetorical devices like repetition, rhyme, and vivid metaphor to drive his points home. It was peppered with historic, biblical, and literary references that moved the crowd. This message of struggle and hope became the defining moment not only of King's career, but also the civil rights movement. Both the speech and the March on Washington were credited with helping secure the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a landmark piece of legislation that ended segregation and banned discrimination on the basis of race or sex in the workplace.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
The speech also resonated with activists around the globe. I have a dream. The phrase that wasn't even meant to be in his final draft appeared in political actions all around the world. It's considered one of the world's most transformative and influential speeches, alongside others like Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address and Winston Churchill's Blood, Toil, Tears, and Sweat. I Have a Dream is only one of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s many achievements, but it's nonetheless one of the most pivotal.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
Okay, and there you go. Some history for all of you. Take a look at what happened in Manchester, New Hampshire over the weekend. Professional Bull Riding League visits Manchester. Professional Bull Riding Manchester Invitational held Saturday and Sunday at SNHU Arena. Take a look at that video.
This economy is not working for most of us. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment. The biggest problem in our economy is simple. People are not getting paid enough.
Welcome back. This weekend, professional bull riders came to the Queen City for the very first time. The event was a big hit, too. The Professional Bull Riding Manchester Invitational was held yesterday and today at SNHU Arena. 35 of the best bull riders from around the world competed in front of thousands of fans. Riders tried to hold on to the bulls for 8 seconds.
I think there's a special energy when you come to these type of events because, like you said, the people aren't necessarily used to this, and it's all exciting to them all the time.
And the tour is making 30 stops. The next event in New England is February 22nd in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay, and there you go. Cool. Looks like a fun event there. So, when I was watching Good Morning America today, I saw this video of this dog. His name is Jubilee, the husky. I found her forever home. Let's take a look at that video. You're gonna love this dog.
That deserves an award. We want you to meet Jubilee. Oh, yeah. She's a 4-year-old husky who was given up for adoption 2 years ago because her breeder said she was weird looking. The shelter in New Jersey, Husky House, has been struggling to find a loving family to take care of Jubilee since 2018. So they recently posted the photos on Facebook, writing, quote, "My name is Jubilee. I love people, but I'm a little shy because people mostly laugh at the way I look." She suffers from an eyelid deformity, but no other health issues. Now, the post and the pictures immediately went viral, and just a few hours after that, a Husky House announced a lovely pup date that Jubilee has found her forever home with a family that had previously adopted her. She's got, like, the whole mean face. Like, everything is... But she's so cute. So she now is, as she should be, in a forever home. That deserves an award. We want you to meet...
Very, very cool. Jubilee, everyone. We're all happy for Jubilee. And before we end this talk show, let's say hello to Miss Zelda the Turtle. This is Zelda. Zelda, say hello to all of our viewers. And that's gonna wrap it up for this edition of the Riley King Talk Show right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed watching. And if you would like to be a guest on the Riley King Talk Show, or be a guest co-host for the day on the Riley King Talk Show, let me know. Send me a private message and let me know. We would love to have a guest so I can interview them or have a guest co-host for the day to do the show with me for the day. That would be fun as well. If you're interested in doing one of those things, comment below or send us a private message and let us know. Have a wonderful Monday, everyone. I'll see you back here. We'll try to do the Riley King Talk Show more often. We took a little break, and we're gonna try to bring it back and things. So, have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and see you back here next time for another edition of the Riley King Talk Show. Bye, everyone.